Alright guys, give you an update. Got my shipment in from FCP Euro today. Got the intake manifold back on, the water pipes installed. I haven't put any coolant in it or anything like that yet. I still got the fans out. I just wanted to get it together and at least see if it'll try to make some noise. It's so jerry-rigged the way this guy's had it. I believe that hose there probably went down to the fuel filter, came disconnected, so I'll have to crawl under and find that. This whole intake system is just garbage. Nothing fits well, it's all shoved in there. But if it holds enough to just get a start, fine. Every single clamp used is way too big. So I mean, that's not a huge deal, but just annoys me. This is something else that I just saw while working under here. Sure. Don't know why he went that route, but that's the way he went to repair that strut mount. It was underneath, and one of the sway bar mounts is not even there, so that's nice. But I got I got everything hooked up under here. Got the battery connected. I've cranked it a few times. Seems like it might pop off. So let's see what we can do. Come on. It's trying. I'm guessing with that needle over all the way on hot, it's probably a coolant temp sensor unplugged. I did see that he had some bad wiring on that as well, or it could be a communication issue. But it seems like it's trying to fire, so let's keep trying it, see if she'll pop off. It's trying. Come on. Come on. Give that starter a little break here. We'll try again. I'm starting to smell fuel, so let's pause that here until I figure out where that fuel leak is, and we'll go from there. Alright guys, got the battery charged up overnight. Got everything hooked up back underneath the hood. Did actually manage to get it to start, so just kind of want to show it off here for you. She won't idle and she runs like crap, but she runs. Hey guys, welcome back. Got some updates here. If you remember the last video, most of this intake was all off. Had some issues with coolant lines that needed some O-rings. So I got the parts in from FCP Euro, got the O-rings on, got the intake reinstalled, got this fantastic intake system hooked back up. And she does actually now start and run, which is kind of glad for her to know. So I just want to give you a quick little update on what I've done. I've taken the hood off. The hood prop on the passenger side was missing, I'm guessing because it doesn't clear that exhaust pipe, and the one on the driver's side was weak, so I always had to put vice grip on it. Just decided, heck with it. I'm going to just take the hood off, get a little bit more access. The more and more I get underneath this thing, the more issues I see, and I'm pretty sure I know the direction that I'm going to go with this car. I'm not really sure why there are self-tappers in the power steering reservoir. That's fantastic. You can see here, you've got self-tappers in the headlights. And I saw on this side, looks like he had to put in an extra or a different mount or a nut and bolt for the strut mount. I don't know why he just didn't put a nut and bolt through the old hole. I mean, it's already there, but that's what he did. So just, you know, more and more everywhere I look, there's just lots and lots of problems. This whole bulkhead piece here is all cut up, peened over. So, you know, even if I was to take this turbo stuff off and try to bring it back to stock, it's just, there's so much of this car that's been hacked up and destroyed. You see this whole harness here is all melted from the heat of this turbo, wherever he had it running. Then again, underneath here, it's kind of hard to see, but it's all crispy and crunchy. So I mean, this car is like a super fire hazard, besides the fact that it's all hacked up. Got more wire nuts down here. Underneath, it's missing a sway bar bracket. That's not a huge deal. I probably have one laying around. Saw wire ties holding the shifter to the shifter linkage. More wire nuts down here. So the car is just, it's just done. The windshield's cracked on the passenger side, which again, not a huge deal. You can get a windshield, but you just start adding all these things up, and it really would take a whole nother car to put this thing back together right. And consider this doesn't have a title. Why bother? And then the final nail in the coffin. So the story when I got this car was the original motor blew up, and he put this one in. I did verify it is another B30. I think it's actually out of a 5 Series. The oil pan's a little different than what's on my other 330 CI. So, and from looking at pictures online, looks like the oil pan's actually off of a 5 Series, which not a big deal. But does support that he did swap the motor out. And then he claimed that the hard coolant lines, which you probably won't be able to see, but underneath the intake, there's 2 lines that run along the length of the block. And he said, oh, we put the motor in, and ever since then, they were leaking. And they were disconnected when I got it. It's not uncommon for that plastic to become brittle over time. They'll crack and leak. But I looked at them, I didn't see any cracks. I did see that there was a couple O-rings missing on those pipes, and one of them was actually too big, so it was the wrong O-ring. So I ordered new O-rings, put that in, and a couple days ago after I got it running, I decided to fill the cooling system up, got about a gallon of water in it, and heard water gushing out, and sure enough, from that same area. And again, I don't know that you'll be able to see it, but if you look right above between those 2 wire harnesses, I don't know if it'll focus, but there's actually a crack in the head, and water is just gushing out of it. My guess is this being Atlanta area in the south, and you know, this car's got history in Florida and Alabama, that someone probably was running just water in this engine. And while it's not very common for it to get that cold down here, it will dip below freezing occasionally. And we actually had a day this last winter that got down to 9 degrees Fahrenheit. So that could be when this thing popped, or maybe it was already popped when the guy got the motor, since he says it leaked. It sounds like it leaked straight away. So that's my guess, that that's why that engine was in the junkyard. You know, it's not super obvious, even with the intake off, if you're not really looking for it. So unfortunately, this thing, it's parts. I've already got it listed up, parted out. I've got a few people that want the turbo stuff off of it. You know, I'm gonna sell that stuff cheap. It's just eBay stuff, nothing really great, and needs really to be reworked. I don't know what this intake tubing is off of. It does seem like it's aluminum, so you really should have just welded the blow-off valve right to it instead of that stupid hose that it just slips off. You know, just some crappy hose coming off the cold side of the turbo as well. I don't know if you can see it down in here, but there's like a hodgepodge fitting going to the vanos for the oil feed and an oil gauge. I think you probably saw that in the last video, and it leaks, so that needs to be done. Not high cost, but you know, it's just a cheap eBay turbo, no name, wastegate, probably just a generic eBay manifold. I'll show some more of this stuff once I get the motor out. I'm going to try to work on that today, see how far I get. It's you know, mid 90s here in Atlanta, and you know, you can't do much without starting to sweat pretty bad. So that's pretty much the update, but I also did kind of want to show that it does start. I did drive it down the street the other day. My neighbors, I'm sure, really loved that because, you know, it's loud. But so just give you another quick little walk around. You know, all the paint's shot on it. I'm sure it's had just a cheap respray at some point, and it's just peeling off. The body otherwise is in pretty good shape, except for the spare tire well. I'll give you another shot of that. Now, the battery's in the way, but you can still see that's daylight down there. So it's super soft. You move the battery around at all, and it feels like it's gonna pop through. Already started throwing some parts in the back. But yeah, let's go ahead and see if she'll start up. Should fire right up. So as long as the battery didn't go dead on me, but I think it should be fine. Oh, the steering wheel's locked. One sec, guys. And it's locked up. I'm gonna have to put you on pause and bring you back. One sec. All right, we're back. Oh, I got the fuel pump unplugged. I had the intake off and had a key on. So didn't want to shoot fuel everywhere. But let's see, she should start right up. So she runs. She doesn't like to idle. Got the map unplugged. Let me plug that back in and just see if that changes anything. Probably not. I think it actually ran worse before. Where is that? Oop. Forgot to put it in gear and was rolling away. All right, let's see, where's this harness? There, is that it down here? There we go. Let's try this again. Yeah, she's running with the map plugged in, so that's good. Kinda. So she doesn't like to run on idle. I'll end it there. She smokes pretty good. I don't know if you can kind of see it or not. So the turbo seals are probably shot too. I'll end this here, and I'll bring you back once I start getting some stuff unbolted and out of the car, ready to pull the motor out. I was going to try to drive it down the street again, but the thing's just so loud and obnoxious. I don't really want to piss my neighbors off and have issues doing car projects in the future. So I'm just going to pull her in, and we'll resume back when I get some progress on removing getting the car set up and then removing stuff out front. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time.